What's up, guys? It's your girl Brandy back with another video. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I am Brandy. I pretty much just live my life and talk about it and recaps and story time. So I got a little bit of everything over here, but I am just starting up. So thank you guys for being here if you are watching. So by the title of this video, we're just gonna jump right into it. I'm gonna give you guys the messy story time of my friend was messing with her man. She put me in some stuff and this is the foolery that happened after it. Okay, so pretty much what happened was I met this girl through a mutual associate that we both shared. I had a previous situation with a roommate. I had moved out of that apartment. We had got to some physical altercation and I ended up moving out. I ended up going to a party with, like I said, an associate of mine, and I ended up meeting this girl that he was really cool with because he does hair. He was gay. So he hung out with a lot of girls. So we just hit it off. Like, we were drinking, we were just doing college things, twerking, do all that kind of stuff. Just, she was a vibe. So me and her ended up hanging out outside of him. And, you know, it was cool. He wasn't really on that because, you know, he was just all in the vibes. He had his own friends and stuff like that. So long story short, me and her ended up being cool. Like, we started going out to eat. She wasn't like a veteran, but she was getting like veteran benefits. So we would, like, if you know, if you have a GI Bill, if you get any type of disability from the military, on the first, your check will hit. Okay, they'll help you with school, or, you know, you get your benefits on the first or whatever. So we would always just joke like, oh, where we going on the first? When we get our like GI Bill school money, because we would just go out and drink and have fun. She was just a good vibe. But I will say this, people have a tendency, and this is just a thing, and I've just noticed this within even my community of people. They really judge you, and this is just society in general. They judge you based upon how you look. So a lot of times people would judge her like she was a slim girl and she was, you know, darker skin. You know, there's colorism in the Black community. So they would just be like so kind of like rude, and just, if you know, you know, if you know. So, and I noticed that I just, you know, just didn't like that. I was always a person where I've never liked hanging out with the super pretty girls, because it always becomes this competition. And I said that in my previous video why I just had trouble making friends when I was in Atlanta, because it was just so cliquish. Everybody was just worried about like, oh, what is Brandy wearing? Like, girl, what you worried about what I'm wearing? Okay, but anyways, let me get to the point. Okay, so that's the background of our relationship. Okay, so what ended up happening was I was the same mutual associate. I ended up meeting him because we ended up joining this like, it was essentially a party networking group where people turn up and drink and all that other stuff. And so there was another guy who joined at the same time we did. We both did. And so at the time, it was homecoming. I remember this. It was homecoming at my historically Black college. If you ever went to an HBCU, you know the homecoming is like a really, really big deal. All the alumni come down, people turn up, there's parties, all types of things, right? So, excuse me if y'all see me touching my camera, but so everybody comes down. It's a huge, big deal. All right, so what ended up happening was she liked this boy. We gonna call the boy A. She liked A, but A had a girlfriend, right? Well, at the time that what I'm about to tell you happened, I did not know that. She would tell me about him and that they would flirt and they would do stuff and boo, boo, boo. So, you know, I was okay, you know, do you? So during homecoming, I saw them actually interact. They hugged, and like he like touched her butt or something like that. It was something like that. So I was like, okay, she wasn't lying. Like, you know, when somebody tell you they messing with somebody, it's like, okay, girl, show me the receipts. You know, until I see it, show me the receipts. I mean, I don't believe it until you show me the receipts. Okay, so after that, didn't think nothing of it. All right, so I had. Around this like next semester, I ended up meeting this girl. We gonna call her B. B was really, really cool. Again, it was kind of the same situation. I can't remember how I exactly met her. I want to say it was kind of like the same thing. Like, we were just either at a party or something. I met her through a mutual associate, but we ended up hanging out again on the same type of things, college things, twerking, doing all this, boom, bam, just had a good vibe. But B was kind of bougie and hung out with I guess the more aesthetically pleasing girls at the school, and so she really didn't like A. Oh, actually, that's how they met. Okay, so okay, now it's coming back to me. The girl that I was cool with, right? She had a best friend since she was younger. He was dating whatchamacallit. He was dating B. That's what it was. And then so he would be like, hey, y'all want to come, chill, drink with us, and we would come over there. So okay, that's what the connection was. So my friend at the time was the best friend and then the girlfriend, so they didn't really like each other, but we ended up being like, me and the girlfriend ended up having, like, we were cool, like I liked both of them, and so we just started hanging out. I guess I was just hanging out with everybody. I don't know. So we started hanging out, and then she ended up inviting me to a like, they were having like a wine and pasta night. Now when she invited me to this wine and pasta night, me and my friend were together, and the girl, she was inviting me, but she was nearby, and so she kind of like invited herself. And I know that's kind of like a weird situation to be in. Basically, she invited herself to something that she wasn't invited with for. She overheard that I was being invited, and she just kind of like, oh, can I come? But the girlfriend really didn't like her, so that was the whole thing. So okay, so this is where it gets tricky. This is where the stuff starts to hit the fan. Okay, y'all. So I'm gonna get to the point. Okay, so we both go over to the house, right? And so there's a bunch of girls there. Again, I'm meeting a lot of them for the very first time. So I'm like, hi. We're all drinking wine. We're getting to know each other. Boom, boom, bam. Everything's cool. Where my friend at the time messed up, I feel like she was on some weird stuff, was she was like creating conversation with everybody in the room, right? And there was a particular girl that she was talking to that it seemed like she was being extra nice to, and I was just like, does she know her? Like, because only person we thought we knew over there was the girlfriend. So we're in the room, we're chilling, things like that, and then what happens? We're all like literally just chilling, all having a good vibe. And then the girlfriend and one of the girls, the girl that my friend was being extra nice to, end up leaving the room. And they're gone for like 5 minutes. We're not thinking nothing of it. And they come back. And then the girlfriend's like to my friend, she's like, hey girl, I need to talk to you about something. Can you step out into the hallway with me real quick? So she gets up, and she doesn't step out into the hallway out of the room. They're just like having a conversation, and then it's like really quick, and then she sits back down, and then she types something on her phone, and then she shows it to me, and I can't exactly remember what the message said, but it said something like, I think that's so-and-so's girlfriend, and she wants to fight me. So I'm about to leave. So I'm like, wait, hold on, what's going on? Y'all, how come the girl that she was being extra nice with, first of all, the boy that she was messing with, the one, remember I was telling you around homecoming that she said they had been doing stuff, and then I seen them, he grabbed her butt, like they did a little hug. He had a girlfriend, and the girlfriend was at the wine pasta thing, right? And so this is basically what happened. So while we were in the room, apparently, I guess she went through his phone. Well, not even while we were in the room. A previous instance, she had went through his phone and found out that he was cheating on her. It wasn't just with my friend. It was with some other girls. So she basically questioned him about it. He ended up telling her who she was. She seen the picture, like their Instagram messages, all their messages and photos between them, all that. They had their issue, and I guess they was working on it, right? But she was still his girlfriend at the time. So apparently, I guess it took the girlfriend a little bit to recognize that my friend was one of the girls that she was messing with. And so I don't know if it's a situation where maybe she did know, because I think what it was is they had pictures of them on their page. Either like maybe she did or he did, but I feel like she knew, because my antennas and everything was starting to go off in my head at that point. So basically what happened is she told him that she ended up finding the stuff, found out that was the girl. And then as she was talking and being extra friendly, she didn't know at the time, but then she started putting it together like, oh, this is the bitch that was fucking with my man. So I need to have a conversation with you. I need that. You know how they be on baddies. I need that. So I guess she told the girlfriend first, because that was her friend, and basically didn't want to fight up in her house. And I guess girlfriend really didn't even like my friend like that anyway. So she was like, girl, if you want to confront her, I don't really care. So we get up to leave, and then all I know is the girl comes out of this room because she disappeared. She comes out of this room like, oh, you didn't know about me? You didn't know about me? Like, say, I can't remember exactly what she was saying, but she was like, oh, so you didn't know about me? You was fucking with my man? You was fucking with my man? And then my friend is just trying to get up out of there. She's like, if this bitch touch me, they're just going back and forth. And eventually we end up getting out the house, and then I get the full story. And I'm like, girl, why was you messing with that? Why? Okay, first of all, even though she was my friend, you invited yourself into a space with a person that you knew didn't even care for you that much. For real, for real. 2, you're being extra friendly to somebody that you know. Because I after this whole situation happened and I put all my antennas and my dots together, I'm like, girl, you knew that boy had a girlfriend, and you knew that was his girlfriend, and it almost seemed like you was trying to play cute by trying to be cool with her. Like, my thing is this: if I was messing with somebody, if I was messing with somebody's man and I knew they had a girlfriend, and I was in the same space with that girlfriend, I wouldn't say a goddamn thing. Not that I would ever do that, but I would not do that. So I'm just like side-eyeing her. Like, why would you do that? And then my thing is this, and then you're staying too long. My thing is this: if you knew that and you being all friendly and nice, after you was friendly and nice, we should have got the fuck up out of there. You should have got up out of there. Cause y'all, for real, I did not know until I knew the boy. Like, I knew him, but I wasn't like, following him on social media or anything like that. We just, mutual. So I didn't know he had a girlfriend and all this other stuff. If I did, I definitely would have been like, girl, this is not a good idea. But she knew. And so she put me in a weird situation, because now there's other people. Keep in mind, there's other people there while this is happening. It's not just me, the girlfriend, my friend. It's like 4 or 5 other girls there that are watching this, and I don't know them. Like, it's almost like it's us versus them. Like, I'm just trying to get her up out of here, because they all like, what the, like, you want some weird shit? Like, you a weird, like, everybody, it seemed like everybody was either texting or passing notes, but we were so oblivious to the fact that this was going on, and they were like, oh, that's the girl that, like, that's what the situation was. Like, it was crazy. But we ended up getting up out of there. Once I got the full story, I basically said, like, that was like lame as hell. And at that point, she didn't even care. Like, she was like, you know what, I felt bad at first, but now I don't care. And I'm like, girl, you obviously didn't feel bad, but like, that still was some lame, like, weird stuff that you did. But the girl pressed her, she ran off, and that's that. So just be careful who you hang out with. And there was red flags from the beginning. It wasn't a good idea to go over there. So that's the story time, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.